Hello, everyone. We're really happy to see all of you here. My name is Alexander Konstantinov. I'm a chief marketing officer down here in Unidata. Thank you all for registering once again for a series of free webinars. This is the last webinar in this English track. It is dedicated to Unidata community. And as always, I would like to emphasize that in the face of difficult epidemiological situation, we as the Unidata company really believe that we want to support you by sharing our extensive knowledge in the field of data management, data governance, data quality, and so on. As all of you know, some time ago we announced April as a month of webinars, and this is, just like I said, the last webinar in this track. The duration of today's webinar will be about 1 hour, plus minus, and after that there will be a session of Q&A after the event. Like always, you can always raise your questions in chat format, and our speakers will gladly answer all of them. And the reminder of you that as this is the last webinar in this track, right after this webinar, we will be giving Unidata official certificates for those of you who has attended all 4 webinars in a row. So if you attend all 4, please give us a note using our email, webinars@unidata-platform.com. For your convenience, I will write this email just in the chat format. We will check everything out and send you the digital certificate for participation within a couple of days after today's event. And now, I, Alexander Konstantinov, say goodbye to you all, and with great pleasure, I give the floor to Unidata leading architect Roman Strikalovsky. And after Roman, there will be a word given to Ruslan Trachak, technical director to Unidata, for his presentation. Thank you so much, and I give the floor to Roman now.
Yes, hello guys. Alexander, thank you for your speech. The last webinar, but I hope it's not the least. And when we're talking about the April, I can see the snow is still coming in my window. So I hope it will be the last snow in this year. I mean, for this period of time, for this half a year. So I hope you are doing fine. You are taking care of yourself, and you are healthy and feeling well. And this coronavirus is you are not contacting with this, and you are not infected, of course, and you are all fine. And I wish you good luck, and I hope this situation will be resolved shortly. So today it's a last part of our track, and the last part named called Unidata community. And the Unidata community is all about the open source, and open source. You know, it's have a really rich history. It started in, as you can see in this diagram, in 1980s. When the society was really small and really technically progressive, and then it was developed, and currently we have a really big bunch of the teams of the companies that really doing a lot of contribution into these open source communities. It's and it's always like we're giving something to you, and it's always I mean, the companies, they're giving something to you for free use, for some development, for some reasons, and of course they have some commercial products. So all of these guys who listed here on this graph have 2 different tracks with totally free branch of their products, open source mostly, which can be used by developers, some startups, teams, and etc. So, but Of course, for them, they have to, to make some profit of the doing so. Also, they have, as you all know, the commercial versions of the products, some service and some another support. So we, as the Unidata company, have the same for our community, for our open source community product. We have the same, almost the same strategy. Of course, it's a bit different in the licensing aspects or whatever. But anyway, by default, we have some commercial products, which we discussed on on the webinars before, with data management, MDM, and data governance products. And today we're gonna discuss our open source MDM core, which called Unidata community. So this Unidata community using of this could go mainly in two different ways. The first is for development users. The developers are welcome to our society, to our community, to our GitLab. They can be free to check out our code compiled and use it in their business needs, startup needs, and researches, I don't know, educational needs or whatever. And of course, with an open source license agreement, which is GPL, I believe, currently. We will talk about the licensing a bit later. And the second branch of using our products is the integrators, where our company can provide the full support, full development support, and we can customize our product for the customer needs. It's one of part of our business. So yeah, few words about how can we made it to the open source, and how we decided to make one, not the first, but one of the first really big enterprise products. How we decided to contribute to the community as an open source. It was really a challenge for us because we have really a lot of our know-hows, our technologies, even the patent the technologies and logics that have the patent. For example, the building up the record on the fly. I mean, when you open it, we don't have the records solidly stored in our database. We have it's like parts that came from the different data sources, and these parts are versioned from the different sources. And when you try to open the golden record, it is built when you open it. So you are always be able to view the latest golden record that been consolidated. And of course, you are able to go and see the records that came from the parts of the golden record that came from different data sources. For example, the technologies like this, we are proud to share to you. And one of the challenge for us, I remember 10 years ago, maybe more, when I was a student. No, I think it's 15 years ago. When I was a student, I came to the company named Sun. I hope you still remember this company, the mother company of the Java world, which is our Unidata is based. And then they started to make their Java machine be open sourced. I don't remember the exact release. I believe it's 1.5. The release was named like 1.x those days. And they say one of the problem for them was to make the code be shareable. So the quality of the code should be really high, so the company will not be ashamed of it. It was a really problem for developers. So when we shared our code, which I believe you have already seen in the GitLab, we faced the same problems. It's really, really, really hard for us to keep the business, keep the commercial profit of the products on the same, but to share the parts that are really working well to the community. So we decided to split to change the architecture of our products to the modules, that are used for the different functions. For about the modules, we will have in the end of this meeting, we will Ruslan will show you some examples of the modules, of the code, of how you can build it, how you can use it, how you can make some calls. So when I will stop my speech, I will give floor to Ruslan, so he will tell you about the modules, and he will show you how can we describe how we define the modules, and what we want, what we suggest to use our product as a module. So one of the challenges for us was to split, to change our architecture completely. So you can use different data storages, so you can use different data quality modules, so you can use the different business rule validation rules, the consolidation rules, and whatever. The modules are, when you're working with the data, the logic is a pipeline where you can put the different modules into this logic when you're processing the data. So yes, it was one of the challenges, the changing the architecture to this one, to this thing. You can see the modules here, the part for the commercial products, and the parts for the open source products. So, and the next part was to make our code be readable, to be maintainable, and to make our code that we can proud of. So the latest task was not really hard enough, because we have a really strong developers team. So we try to support. They are making really a lot of job these days, and thanks to Ruslan and thanks to all of the developers. Because these days, when we are really separated from each other, we have really a lot of things to do. We have really a lot of stress, and the amount of tasks is it's increasing every day. So I believe this situation will be over soon, and we will can get back to our business, and we will make our plans to use the community. So one of the latest slide, just to end this presentation. I already talked to you. We have this powerful open source MDM core, which is based on were commonly known, well documented open source stack. And now I will take the screen for me. Okay. And we have the module architecture, we have the vast technologies, and etc. So currently, Ruslan, I believe you listen to me. I will just go ahead and I will go through the sites. I will go to through our GitLab, and I will show you the and I will show you how you can use the community. Okay, I will briefly talk about this. So let me share my screen. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, I hope you can see. So when we're using the community, when you want to start to use the community product, I mean the Unidata community, the first the most of you saw is our website, which is based on some free version. You know, it was also one of the challenges for our team is how to make the fully free open source site. You know, so it's all not mostly free because we have to pay for the domain name and for some technologies, but it's 95% free. It's our politics is not to get some extra money for the site, for the design of the site or whatever. So here you can see the project where you can use our project. I will stop for this bit more. I will talk more detailedly about the products and the licensing a bit later. The licensing, our GitLab page, our Slack channel, our news, some articles, our experts. So guys, if you have some research programs or you have some articles, please you can send me. You can send us using my email, the Slack channel, or whatever. So you are really welcome to appear here on this our experts panel, and we will be glad to share your article on the news, put some news about how you can you use our products in your own business. It's you are really welcome for this. Because currently we're making content for ourselves. So about the news, just the latest one is really strong news when we're fighting coronavirus with our community webinars. So I just wanted to talk to you that we have these comments here, and you can always post your comments and we can discuss. I hope this track with the comments will start it also. It's a forum on the discuss. It's also the free version. So about our projects and our licensing, as I said already, there is two ways you can use our products. If you are a developer, you can go to our GitLab, check out our code, go to the wikis, and just read it, start it, and use it. And when you want to us to make all of this job and to customize put some services, you can always go write for the licensing in dataplatform.com or to me or to the Slack channel, or to me also somebody, and we can discuss some another using of our open source products. Okay, so it's not the marketing webinar, it's about the technology. So let's let's go to the source code. Okay. So if you will have some questions, please just go ahead and ask in the chat, about the product. So currently, when you go to the screen, the project, the details, so you can see it's, this modular version is really currently. It's have a lot of the changes here. The last changes was 4 hours ago. Is Ruslan. Probably he yes, he just updated the installation and APIs page. I believe there are some bugs, maybe some issues on it. Here you can see we made the pipelines. As I talked on the second webinar, I believe. I made the pipelines, and here you can download the artifacts, the build artifacts of the pipeline. I believe it's should be the WAR file currently. I mean, the job, the schedules, and everything is is there. Let's see some analytics about this. Oh no, not bad slide currently. So, but the code is here, and the Ruslan will show you the code, and after I will finish my speech. Here you can see the modules, the packages which are described in the modules, some README files, the Gradle files, and so on. Currently, we have some brief description about each module with some examples. And of course, when you go to the wiki page, here we can talk about the roadmap. And this roadmap, is made like this currently, and I believe we are still in the line in the project's scope, but the system admin user interface is really, because of this situation, it's really moved to the second half of the year, so we will update it shortly. So this the admin UI, the data model admin UI, I believe they will appear in September, starting from September anyway. But please just stay in touch, and anyway we are doing this job, but currently we really lack of resources. But this data quality module is I believe it's on schedule, and these modules are planned for the next year. Okay, so but anyway, you can write your own modules, and you can contribute your modules in. You can share it as an open source, for example. So going back to the wiki page, the licensing is also here. We have the glossaries, but I believe one of the for me, I was a developer for many years. I think more than 10 years already. And for me, when I just want to start, I just want to some how-to startup guide. I mean, and here you can see the environment setup. Here it should be useful. The modules, how to start making your own modules using the pipeline here. To upload the records, we have some descriptions and etc. And of course, the APIs. We have everything we have really full API description. Maybe it's not really up to date, but we just saw the activity. Ruslan have updated it, about 4 hours ago. Yeah, it was today. So it's so I believe it's a really good documentation to start up. So you can make the record. You can you can use working with data, and you can work with the model here also. Yeah, and Ruslan, I believe he will show you an example how we can use it. Okay, what can you find also here? The context, of course, the glossary. Yeah, it's really, when we're talking in the community, it's really, mm, important for us to use our common terms from the glossary that we can discuss, which is data model and how is defined in the model, which is entity, the lookup entity, cleans function, classifiers, and the records. And all of these things, I believe I have showed you already in the previous webinars. So yeah, the Slack channel is really open for you, so please go ahead. Okay, and the last one, the last things I wanted to talk about is our Slack channel, where you can, where we can discuss our problems. So currently it's not really active, but it's starting to, it's starting to fill up with some news, some community, and some attention from the community side. Uh, so let me just get back to my presentation and see. Yes, and our plans. So I will stop my speech shortly. And yeah, thanks, Thomas. Yeah, at least we're trying. Yes, and we will not give up and resist. And but anyway, the project is really young, and we have the plans for next 3 years on this project, and we have plans for next 1,000 years for our company. So please don't worry about this. And the community and the news will feed up. We observed the product from the very beginning. It was nothing, and currently we have these 3 platforms: the community platform, the Slack platform, and the source code platform. Okay, and of course we will continue to when this quarantine will over, we will continue to participate in some worldwide webinars, to continue to participate in some Gartner summits and other analytical companies. And by the way, yeah, for one of the main things from our community, we made a technical translation of Dama Dim book, Data Management Book of Knowledge, as I remember it's right, to Russian. It was really hard and aggressive job from our side, but yeah, we made it. We one of the pioneers here in Russian market in data management, data governance, and MDM products. So we have really a lot of expertise, and we want to share it with you, and we want to get some practices from you. So when we talk about the practices, I believe when we talk about the practices, I believe it's always better to see some code from Ruslan. So Ruslan, please go ahead and set up your environment to show us some good stuff about the code. I think it will take from Ruslan about maybe 15 minutes, maybe 10, from 10 to 15 minutes, and then I will we will try to answer your questions, and then we will close our meeting. Ruslan, your camera is on. It's it's not in the company policy. Yeah. So I will mute my phone and I will give a floor to Ruslan. Please go ahead.
Okay, hi guys. Give me a second. I need to start screen share application. 1 second. Okay, full screen. This one. Okay, hope you see my screen. And if it's not true and you see nothing, please write something to a chat. Okay, hope you see the screen. So what I will try to give you a brief brief explanation about the platform itself, its current state, and what you can do right now. Okay, what we have, first of all, let me open this one. Okay, this is our GitLab. So you can see a branch 6.0 here, and it's under development right now. This is the version we are planning to release later this year. I hope mid-year, maybe a bit early if you're talking about community edition itself. So we enabled pipelines, as it was mentioned by Roman. So now you can download source code and compile it and make a build by yourself. Either you can just download it from pipelines. Yeah. So let's start with code, for example. So if you download the code from GitLab, you will see something like 1 second. You will see something like that. And this is just our project structure. So you can see here folders named like org.unidata.mdm and something after that. And this is actually our models. So just to build it and create distribution, you need to execute Gradle tar file. It's just easy to remember this command because it's already mentioned here in our CI configuration, and you can check, maybe just for future, you can always refer to this file, I mean GitLab CI YAML, and then build phase. So here exactly the command you need to execute to build a tar file. So clean just will clean up the project itself, and tar file will, let me show it. Okay. I already run it. Okay, it was, yeah, I already run it some time ago. So, and as a result of this tar file, you will see war file. Let me remember. You will find a new folder called distribution and start GZ archive in it. So if you open it, you will see something like that. It's some Tomcat folder, the WAPS folder, and war file. So you just need to follow the instruction. Which you can find in Wiki on GitLab, And you can just copy this file to your Tomcat if you have already configured environment. So what is inside? Some just third-party stuff. Let's see. It's absolutely regular WAR file. Okay, it's absolutely regular WAR file. You can see it here, and in lib folder, you will see. As you can see, this few jars, and you can see that their name exactly the same like models here. So yeah. So what is a model? Yeah, model is just some piece of let's say functionality that can be separately developed, install it to your application, and use it in let's say pipelines. It's a bit hard to understand what is it, but I'll try. Okay, what we have here. So what is pipelines? Let me open pipelines. Actually, it's some instructions to our system, and it says which code or methods should be executed when let's say data record is went through the system. Yeah, I can show it to you. What is the pipeline? I mean, let me open database. Okay. Pipeline has, let's say, some name and its content. What is the name? You can see. I hope you understand what is it. It's like absurd model. So this pipeline is responsible for Metamodel creation. It's about model publish start. It's about publishing draft of the model as a published one. This is about create Metamodel draft. About record, this let's see, record absurd start means that this pipeline configure code that should be executed when you receive a message. What I mean, let me show you. You can see what we have here. So when the system receives data record for processing, I mean for absorb, for example, the system itself knows nothing about how to proceed it. All it has, I mean, this system is all it has is just configuration that says, okay, if you receive a message, I mean a record, and you want to proceed it as absurd, then first of all run record absurd validation methods. Then absurd access, I mean, I guess it's some security related stuff. Absurd period check, absurd modbox, absurd timeline, absurd indexing. It's about indexing it for future searches. Absurd persistence, so save it to the database. Absurd connectors, and so on. So when you want to extend functionality of the platform by your own model, you want to modify the default processing, then you can create your model, register it in the system, and just provide register it in this configuration. So if we are talking about our commercial version, it uses the same pipelines actually, but you will see some code here like I don't know, something like that. Com dq apply dq. So what we have right now in the system, we have an engine that runs process data record or Metamodel or whatever you want. You can register and create any pipeline you want to use for your new functionality. That receives the system that receives this event, like I don't know, record observed, and process it through the set of configured points. Each point, it's your code. For example, if you find what is observed persistent, and let's try need to find it here. Okay, not here, but find in path. What is it? So it's just some model, in fact, that provides that implements our method, our class, and implements a method point and says, okay, I'm some point that you can use. Its name, it's batch record observed persistent, and all its logic is just here. So it this is important things because it's allow us to easily change the system behavior. You can easily change the pipeline for some project you want. For example, yeah, why we are trying to do it? Because it's adds some complexity to the system, because it provides us possibility to change everything in the system. And in a real life project, if you by default system behavior it's not acceptable by customer or should be changed, and usually you need to implement some hooks to change the existing logic. Here you don't need to do it anymore. You just can remove some point from here and implement your own one, or just remove the, for example, if you don't need to index anything, you want to work with database only, just remove this step. If you want to change the behavior, for example, save to the persistence layer before indexing the record in Elasticsearch. Okay, just move this one before that one. I hope it's so. And this is very flexible mechanism, and we use it in our application right now. So that's about code. If you want to start new implementation of new models, if you want to start to just implement your own model, just read our some instructions on wiki page. You can find here. Okay, 1 second, guys. Asking guys. Okay. You can find it here. Some development. You can refer to this page and check what is the model itself and what you need to implement to make your code something called as model. Okay, guys, 1 second. Okay. 1 second. What's okay? Okay, give me a second. I hope it will start again. Okay. You can see my screen. Let me continue. So if you need more information, about models and you want to start development of new models, okay, please refer to this page. Please refer to code we already can access in GitLab, for example, draft, or I don't know, SOAP, for example. You will see how it's built and what to do. Okay, you implemented some new model, you built an application as a var file, and you deploy it. It's already deployed on Tomcat. So what you can see, how you can see what is going on when you start. So when you start Tomcat, yeah, and you can check after that your logs. I mean, there is Unidatabackend.log is the main log from backend application. So if you open it, you will see the line last like this one, models loaded. It means that the platform was successfully started, and all models mentioned before are already uploaded to the memory, and they are ready to use. You can find more lines like here. You can see load model, starting model, SOAP, data, system, and so on. And you can go a bit earlier, and you will see that the system is trying to load models I mentioned. So if you see lines like here, so and you see your models, your model in lines for your model, when it looks like you are near success and your system is trying to load your model. And if you can see this line and there is no exception, there are no exceptions or error logs, error events in your log, well, everything is okay and the models are loaded. So how you can interact with the system? Yeah. Right now, you can interact using SOAP API. So, how to start? The easiest way to start is, again, it's refer to a wiki. You will see, you can see IPs page. It's and you can find here, let's say, what is it? It's a list of our APIs that provided by modules in this build. So you can just open page like here. So this is from my virtual machine. So it's my API. It's Tomcat actually port. It's backend application, var file, and just IPs. And you can see list of all available SOAP services. If you are using commercial one, or maybe if you try to do it to open this page, I hope in few months you will see something like that again. So on this page, all IPs should be mentioned. This is a section about SOAP APIs, and this about REST. So in commercial version, we already have some REST APIs, and I hope we will move them to community edition, at least some of them, in next few months. So when if we did it, or you already have some Rust, it will build something like, okay, there's data. You will see normal Swagger for REST, and you'll be able to use it as you wish. But okay, it's the future. Right here, right now, we provide only SOAP APIs in Community Edition. Okay, you can see this WSDL and you can start with them. I already prepared just few small examples. So it's a SOAP UI, it's projects created from using these WSDLs, and for example, what we can do just to start to interact with the system. The first one you have to do, it's you should log into the system. So there's a separate login API. You provide your username and password, and as a result, you can see you receive the system returns your token, and you have to use this token later in all other requests. What is the next? You have to absorb the Metamodel. Yeah. So here, let's put, it's my example, let's put the valid token here, and what we are doing, we are absorbing, let's say, we are creating a Metamodel entity with name test entity, display name test entity, and with one attribute, which is a simple attribute, ID, yeah, and its type is just string. So let's call it, and what you can see it, some response. It's already created successfully. So you have a Metamodel now, and now you want to put your data. So let's open data. Let's use this one. So we are trying to absorb the record to just created entity, test entity, and ID is equal, actually is a 1 in this test record. Just execute it, and you have a response that action that the record is updated because it's already created by me a bit earlier. Yeah, here we provide xID as a natural key for this record. So when we execute this request the first time, the system created a new record, and all subsequent calls refers to this external ID will just update. So here you can see that the record was updated and its case. So let's try to read this record. For example, we provide etalon key. Oops. And okay, the system returns us the record we updated or created just few 1 minute ago. So how you it's about me, but how you can start? You can refer here to quick start page. It's just the same example I show you right now, and you can repeat it on your site, or you can use SOAP UI projects prepared by our test team. I'd like to say I have not tested it by myself, in fact, but I hope it's usable. If you see some problems with it, say us, I will try to test it. What more? Yeah, just maybe the last important thing about the system. Okay, maybe let's back to example to records we just created. So if you just to show you some proof that these records are already, let's say, they exist in the system. There is database for this demo stand, and you can find org Unidata MDM data schema and records tables. For each record there you can find table etalons, for example. Okay, where is it? Yeah. It's not really okay. This one. So this is our record we created or updated. Let me refresh it. And this is the record we inserted short time ago, so you can use it. I guess that's more or less all I planned to share with you. And if you need some more information, I guess you can you can contact Alexandra or Roman, and we can try to do webinars more, let's say, more concentrated on some particular parts like development or deployment or whatever. Thank you. Roman?
Yeah, thank you, Ruslan. Well, really big thank for this really detailed technical presentation of our code. It's really really a big help to me because I haven't touched the code for 1,000 years. You know. Yeah, so I hope, guys, it's really was useful for you. It's kind of how to start guide, how to use it. So please, if you have some needs, if you had some questions, I want this presentation and this Ruslan speech and technical examples of how you can use it will be really helpful in your own cases. So yeah, please let me get back to our presentation, and it's one of the best slides we made here. We have discussed about our open source core, the core of our commercial products, the core of our technical technologies which we share to the community. We talk about this documentations and the community that is using these documentations, and how can we develop our product and our documentation, our technical stack. If you have some ideas about the technical stack, you have some doubts, or you have some discussions, holy wars about how we can use our code, please go ahead. We are really have a big expertise to make some holy wars about the in the forums, in the programmers forums. Yes, and if I want you to share your practices, to share your commercial practices or research practices or whatever. And you have some resources like books, some interesting articles that you want to share to us. You want it to be published on our site or in some Slack channels. Please go ahead, write to me. So I don't know if you have any questions. Please go ahead. Let me see. Let me just finish my presentation with some really as I just started as a beginner, why we made it open source. This really hard to explain, hard to understand this enterprise MDM projects. It really was for the big companies, and now we think that the medium business is get really involved into some really good data management products, and we can access them by this open source. You know, where we can access, they can access this kind of this class of the MDM products as an open source, and it will be reachable for the budgets, for the expertise of the small and medium business companies. Yes, and we want this open source we want this open source to become one of the development driver for entire products in our. Yes, if you have Zakaria, if you have the installation problems, yeah, you just go ahead and contact the Slack. I hope I hope we will answer you in time. Actually, we have some holidays, but anyway, I try to read the Slack channel every day. We are, as I speak already, we have some lack of resources, but anyway, we are developing our. Somebody is switching off my presentation. Please don't do this. We have some lack of resources, but please just, you know, I think it will be me and Ruslan about the technical expert from Unidata. And currently we have some games in our development who will have this role, you know, as Thomas, as I speak already, the developers, they are used to write some good quality code, but not to answer in the some technical issues. But anyway, and we have this some small problems with English, with some language barrier, but it's I believe yeah, but I believe the developers there will be really involved. As I speak, the project is a baby for now, but it's growing and development really fast. So anyway, I believe we will get you a really good technical support, and when you do, and we will answer to your requests. Okay, thank guys. Please contact us if you have some questions. It's a latest webinar in this track, as we speak already, and but I believe it's not the least. So it was the brief. All 4 tracks was a brief discussion about our products, about our practices, and I hope we will make more detailed webinars when we have some more cases. I believe we will inform you via our channels, you know, in a few months about the next series of webinars. So, okay, thank you for your attention. Please take care and stay in touch. Thank you.
Thank you, Roman, for your powerful speech. Like Roman said, this is our baby, but I believe that this baby will grow a little fast, rather fast, and will have a certain level of maturity real soon. So see you guys and girls. Thank you so much for your cooperation and for you being with us. Thank you.